So we're now going to begin today's event, and just to say thank you for showing that moment of respect for our student. So my name is Judith Butler, and I'm the returning officer for today's Student Union elections for the Hustings. I would like to welcome you all, whether you are here in person or tuning in online. Today gives you, the electorate, an opportunity to listen to the manifestos of each candidate who's put themselves forward for election. And just to introduce the husting process, each candidate will speak for 3 minutes, followed by question time, and then followed by 1-minute summaries. If you have a question for any of the candidates, please submit it in writing and hand it up to us here. Be sure to include your name and your class. These details are for verification purposes only and will not be read aloud. So voting is conducted online and can be accessed through an email link sent to your mycit.ie email account. It will be available on the MTU Cork Student Union website and on all social media platforms. Voting opens at 8 a.m. and closes at 8 p.m. on Thursday, the 13th of March. While the voting link will be available beforehand, access to the voting area will not arrive until 8 a.m. on Thursday. So please do not attempt to vote before then. But please do exercise your right to vote. So now I'm going to introduce the candidates. We have one candidate running for Communications Officer, and that's Judah Aaron. We have one candidate running for Entertainment Officer, Josh Power. One candidate running for Projects Officer, Maria Mendonca. We have 2 candidates running for Vice President Education, Emma Muldoon-Ryan and Hannah Simmons. One candidate running for Vice President Welfare, Patricia Ziba-Koska. And we have one candidate running for President, Richard Noonan. So now I invite our first candidate to speak, and that's Judd Aaron, who is running for Communications Officer.
Hello. Right. I can see that everyone's in the middle of enjoying lunch, so I'll keep this short. My name is Judah, and I'm running for Communications Officer. What is a Communications Officer, you might ask? Essentially, I'll be communicating with you. Sometimes directly, like we are now, but mostly through posters and explicit magazine. If the SU has a message, it's my job to make sure you get it. Now, why did I decide to run for this role? I'll be honest, my CV. It's looking a little plain right now, and I'd like to spice it up. But also because I like MTU. The food's good, and the lectures are really nice. And if I'm going to be here for the next 4 years, then best believe I'm going to make this place the best place it can possibly be. For me, and for you. That's it. See ya.
So thanks to Judah. And next up, we have Josh Power, who's running for Entertainment Officer.
Hello. So my one's not like Judah's. My one's quite long. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joshua Power, and I'm running for Entertainment Officer. Some of you may recognize me because I did the blind dates on freshers, or I gave you lollipops yesterday. When I was considering which position to run for, because I was stuck between a lot of them, I thought about the one that like students struggle a lot with, which is events, because I feel like MTU really lacks there. So although like most of college seems about classes, assignments and exams, it's really not. Like it's about finding your lifelong friends and creating memories with them, and also discovering your passion. So that's why this role was so important to me, because it's about like making those unforgettable memories, and this role provides that opportunity. So what are my ideas? Well, my ideas range from a simple weekly bingo to also giving students back their opportunity to reclaim college Christmas, because I feel like that's one that we don't speak about. I also want to introduce inclusive events that are like spread right across all of our campuses. So I will start off with the idea about bingo, which takes place in the common room. It's a simple but fun idea that brings all the students together. And it would cost students nothing, but I feel like everyone was excited when it happened on freshers and refreshers and rag week. So it would provide students an opportunity to meet up with their friends and win prizes. And eventually I'd like to bring this to our off-campus colleges. So then my next goal would be to host a cinema night out on the main courtyard, which I feel like just isn't being used at the moment. So all students could bring like blankets, food and drink, and they could vote on a movie that they wanted to watch one evening with all of their friends. So it'll be the first ever one that's done by MTU or UCC, so it'll be a great opportunity for us. And it'll be an opportunity to spend time with your friends and your peers. And then my next goal also takes place on campus, which would be an on-campus concert. So it'll obviously be building on the idea that we'd have a main artist come and perform for us. But I think we all forget that we also have a great college for the School of Music. So I'd love for 1 minute left, right. So we'd have them open for us. So I think that would be a great opportunity for them to showcase their talents. So that brings me to my last point, which is college Christmas. So many people have expressed their anger that us as MTU don't have an inclusive events or tickets for college Christmas. And I couldn't agree more, because for years we're still being punished for mistakes that past students have made, which just really isn't good enough. It's unjust and unfair, and we're the ones suffering from it. So I promise to work towards that, and I'll try and get us our own inclusive tickets and events for college Christmas. So that's most of my speech. So in conclusion, I'll work tirelessly around the clock to create all these events and make sure that there's unforgettable memories for all MTU students. So, and I want to quickly say thank you to everyone that has helped me on my campaign. And so thank you for listening to me to ramble on about that.
So thanks to Josh. Our next candidate is running for Projects Officer, and it's Maria Mendonca.
Hi guys. Oh, this is microphone. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna try to be like Judah and be as fast as I can. So my name is Maria. I'm third year pharmaceutical biotechnology here in MTU, and I had the chance to get to know a few people in a student union because I'm also a student leader. So I had the chance to work in a few events here in MTU. So I thought it was ideal to run as a project officer. I consider myself a very friendly person, so I really hope to work together with them and make MTU a really enjoyable place. And I feel that college life goes so fast, so we need to enjoy it as much as you can and have events in campus that make you enjoy it. So thank you so much. Please vote for me. Bye.
So thanks to Maria. And we have two candidates running for Vice President Education. The first to speak is Hannah Simmons.
Hi all, my name is Hannah Simmons and I'm a fourth year VisCom student. I'm running for Vice President for Education because I believe in the rights for you. When you thought about the vision of MTU that you had when you entered this college, did it include students being left without the supports that they need for their everyday college life? I believe that students being left to open their results in the middle of class having received disappointing results is not acceptable, and in the best interest of students, we should change that. I also believe that for referral students taking their exams in August, they should not be having to open their results in the first semester of the following year on the second week. Because what if you don't know if you've passed the previous year, having to go into your second year and trying to do your classes and stuff with all of that hanging over your head. It's not acceptable, and what I propose is a better and more student-friendly way of releasing results. Speaking of exams, we've all seen the library queue during exams, particularly this year, as it's been shared around social media. This queue is not acceptable, and these spaces should be made available to all students. What I propose is using existing college spaces as designated study places for independent and group study during the exam period, so that everyone has the opportunity for a space for them to study during exams. As well as this, I would like to collaborate with my fellow sabbatical officers in opening the library for longer periods of time, whether that be earlier or later in the day during exams. I want to make sure that an open door policy is created for every single student who would like to come in and talk about their problems with education, no matter how big or small those problems be. Whether it be lecturers, results, exams, something really small or big, such as people getting the wrong paper during their exams, which is not acceptable in this college and has happened before. We all know that that is such a stressful situation for college students to be going through, and it needs to be changed. What I want to do is support students through that stress and make sure that it does not happen again. It's unacceptable behaviour from this college. So I support you. I want to make sure that you guys have the best supports when it comes to your academics. And when it comes to sitting on the academic council, I want to make sure that your voice is heard. Thank you very much. I want to support all of the other sabbatical officers in their points and what they bring to the table, as well as the part-time officers and every other person in this college. So, I want to support you, and I want to hear about your problems, and I want you to let me handle it. Thank you very much. I've been Hannah Simmons.
So thanks, Hannah. And next up, the second candidate running for Vice President of Education is Emma Muldoon-Ryan.
Hello. So, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Emma Muldoon-Ryan, and I am a final year student of Creative Digital Media and also the chairperson of the MTU Book Club. I am running to be your Vice President of Education because I believe students deserve better. Better facilities, better support, and a better overall experience at MTU. Over the past 2 days, I've been canvassing across Cork campuses, listening to your concerns. From these conversations, it's clear that change is needed, and I want to be the person to make that change. I have built my campaign around the slogan, Food Fuels Education, because food is fundamental to a student's success. Like the Snickers slogan, you're not you when you're hungry. Students have long days and may train, study, or work after lectures. We all need hot meals available for longer hours. On top of that, canteen queues for microwaves are chaotic during peak times. I want to push for staggered breaks instead of us all having lunch at 1 to 2 p.m. so students have fair access to meals and seating. The fees for repeating a number of exams is €120 flat fee. And if a student is late to register for repeats, an extra €80 added to that €120. So that can be up to €200 just to repeat one exam. This can be the student's wages from a working weekend gone on repeats. This is unfair and affordable and desperately needs to be challenged. In regards to work experience, I wish to introduce more remote and hybrid work experience. I had a fully remote work experience that allowed me to work for a Kilkenny-based company. This opens up so many opportunities to work all across the country. Final year is also quite intense, as I found. Balancing work and study is exhausting, and students struggle financially on top of this. This is why I wish to fight for a final year grant, so students can take reduced hours at work to focus on their education without worrying about bills. If you are still pondering whether or not to vote for me, I am passionate, determined, and ready for this position. Some changes may take more time, and for those of you in final year, voting is still important. Many years ago, the Students' Union began planning the arena gym. Those who voted for it never got to see or experience it. We have. To quote Ricky Gervais's Afterlife and the original words of the Greeks, A society grows great when old men plant trees, the shade of which they'll never sit in. Vote for the change you may never see, but others will experience. Thank you very much for listening. My full manifesto is available to see on Instagram at Emma for Education MTU. Gurb Mila Magriv.
So thanks to Emma. And now we're moving on to Vice President Welfare. We've one candidate, Patricia Zibakowska.
Hi everyone, so my name is Patricia Zbikowska and I've completed my level 8 in early years in childhood here, and I've been your VP of Welfare for the past year. I'm looking to be re-elected to keep representing you and the student body. My manifesto includes, but isn't limited to, a more inclusive and trauma-sensitive campus, creating more student spaces around the campuses, advocating for students' mental health and welfare policies and procedures, working with the Union of Students in Ireland and the government to find solutions for better public transport, but also to continue and to protect and represent the students' voices and govern how you want us to govern. The students are the main voice. So the university are trying to direct the SU's governance system, and that's not acceptable. The discussions around the levy are not going well, and the offer wasn't accepted then, and it won't be accepted now. The arena is supposed to be a student space, and the university wants to charge students for it without their input. And that's not something that the students should accept. That's why I want to be re-elected and represent the students and allow your voices to be heard, even if this continues, we will need your help. We're not going to be pushed around, so please vote for me.
And now Richard Noonan, who's running for president, will speak.
Mahalo, everyone. My name is Richard Noonan, and I would appreciate your consideration for re-election as your Student Union President tomorrow, Thursday, 13th of March. As your Student Union President over the last year, the team and myself have made great progress and achieved several goals in benefiting students and the student life here on campus, across all campuses. And I would like to continue this in continuing to fight the good fight on your behalf for the next incoming year. This fight includes fighting for student spaces across all campuses, as ensuring that while there has been great seating put in across the student centre and other sectors, it is not good enough that Bishopstown alone would be catered for. This needs to continue both in Bishopstown and across all campuses to ensure that to beat the goal of not enough seats and certainly not enough tables. This will involve going through the CSM Common Room makeover and other projects in place to make sure that all students across all campuses have proper spaces, as they deserve to, here in this university. Next, in regards to the arena levy talks, while there has been considerable talks in going into it, we believe that we will not present students with any unreasonable offer that attains to simply purge them of their money during their time here on the campus, and that if anything dares go through and they attempt to restrict students, I hope you will join me with placards and banners in protesting outside the arena, as we will make sure the student voice is heard and respected in this college. Next, with communication, the college has quite frankly disrespected students multiple times this year in communication in regards to closures of facilities or in access to certain facilities, and just have not told the biggest stakeholder in this college, as without students, this facility would not exist, quite simply. And I will ensure that it is upheld that students are communicated to promptly with all issues that may arise. Additionally, the completion of projects such as the sensory room project will continue in the new building upcoming, and we hope to have that aimed so that this university aims towards simply moving past symbolism and instead becomes a neurodiverse university to ensure that students across all campuses are welcome, with the beginning of the creation of sensory rooms across other campuses as well. Next, we will also work towards the bus issues that have arisen across this year. It's no secret, the buses are terrible. And so, thank you. We're going to work towards working with USI and other core colleges to ensure that the transport industry recognize how students are being left behind in their education due to transport issues. We'll also be raising other factors such as previously spoke spoken with the concert, as well as other things ensuring that there is representation for all students from all campuses across all of our academic boards, as well as the library and the park and ride expansion going forward. And so I want you to think, when you're voting tomorrow, President, that's Rich. Thank you.
So thanks to Richard and thanks to all of the candidates who spoke today. So now we're going to have a 1-minute sum up in reverse order. Unfortunately, Judah can't make it, so we're moving on to Josh Power.
Right, I didn't really plan a sum up. I didn't realise it was part of it. But as I said in my speech, I like to be focusing on trying to get an on-campus concert, college Christmas, a weekly bingo and stuff like that. So that would be it. And thank you. So vote for me. Thank you.
And now we have Maria Mendonca, who's running for Projects Officer.
Hi guys. I didn't know I needed to do that, so I'm very friendly. I'll be a good projects officer, I promise. Thank you, bye.
Great, so the first candidate who's now to speak, who's running for Vice President Education, is Emma Muldoon-Ryan.
Hello again. So, Food Fields Education is a slogan that speaks and applies to all campuses of MTU. More microwaves and access to hot food is a necessity and not a luxury. Thank you very much for taking the time to come over to me at my desk in the corridor. It's been an amazing opportunity to speak to all of you the last few days. Please feel free to reach out on Instagram or call to me in the corridor. Please exercise your vote tomorrow. It starts at 8, so 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And thank you. So vote for me.
Okay, and our second candidate running for Vice President Education is Hannah Simmons.
Hi again. I just want to reiterate that a vote for me is a vote for you. It's me supporting all of your problems when it comes to academics and making sure that you're accurately represented within the college and the higher ups. I want to make sure, again, that all students are supported no matter their year, their course, whether they're undergraduate, postgraduate, apprentice, Erasmus, international, mature student, everyone. So if you have a problem within the college, let me handle it. Vote for Hannah Simmons. Thank you.
So thanks to Hannah. And next up, running for Vice President Welfare is Patricia Zibikowska.
Just again, to make sure that everyone understands, if you want there to be like fun events and fun things happening on the campus, I'm happy to do that. But also the main goal is to ensure that all students' voices get represented and are heard on all levels. So while we're operating on two separate entities on your mandate, I will ensure to keep working on what you want and needs are and keep organising ourselves just the way you mandate us to. So I'd appreciate your vote to ensure that the students' voice is heard here in MTU. Thank you.
And finally, our candidate running for presidency is Richard Noonan.
So, once again, I'd like to reiterate that while projects may go ahead and we want to continue supporting you, I want you, when you think of that catchphrase tomorrow, not just think of a silly little catchphrase, but someone who represents you and will voice your opinions and will voice your thoughts strongly on all boards within this college and will fight for your voice and representation. Thank you.
Okay, everyone, that brings us to the end of the event. I'd like to thank you all for your attention. Thank you to our fantastic candidates, and please don't forget to exercise your right to vote tomorrow. Garv Magat.